at Providence Home Health and Hospice, at Providence Portland, is a just fight for our nurses, our caregivers, and our patients. But more than that, your fight for safe staffing is a fight for every nurse, every caregiver throughout the state of Oregon. Because we know that the nurses and caregivers' working condition is our patients' healing conditions. And I'm so proud of the work here, not just this week, but across the state, for safe staffing legislation that will include minimum staffing ratios and real enforcement to hold employers like Providence accountable. We are expecting the bill to pass this week, perhaps as early as later today or early tomorrow morning. But we know that our fight for safe staffing doesn't stop with legislation for statewide minimums. Our fight continues because you know what our patients need in our hospitals and care settings. We will continue to advocate for contract language for better staffing that includes break nurses, fair and right benefits that will recruit and retain our nurses and caregivers throughout the state. And having an employer agree to abide by the law for appropriate staffing should not require a strike. The 1,800 nurses and caregivers at our striking 3 Providence facilities are fighting to raise the standards for all nurses and health caregivers across the state. You are not alone in this fight. The 900 nurses from St. Charles Bend, some of whom are here today, stand with you in this fight. Our 1,500 nurses at Peace Health Eugene and Riverbend, who are bargaining right now as we speak, stand with you in this fight. Our 3,000 nurses at OHSU stand with you in this fight. Our OHSU nurses have been out here on the line all week, and we got to show up for them next week when they're on the picket lines next Thursday. And in addition to the O&A members across the state, all 16,000 O&A members stand with you. We also have our labor siblings who have been out all week and community at large who has spoken loud and clear in their support for you in this fight. And we are so proud to have them here with us, including OFNHP President Jonathan Baker right here. And if you were out at the rally Monday night, you saw the strong support we have from elected officials from state, local, and federal. And Governor Kotek could not be here today, but she asked me to please read the statement on her behalf. I wish I could be here with you all today. While I cannot join you in person, please know that I see you, your sacrifice, your struggle, and I have your back. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic and long before and after, Oregon nurses and health professionals have worked tirelessly and with great skill and compassion to care for our communities. Each of you have put your health and safety on the line to ensure that our beloved ones receive the care they need and deserve. I see how hard you work, how much you care, and I see that you need to be supported in this incredibly difficult and taxing work. You deserve a fair contract. You deserve better pay and benefits. You deserve adequate staffing that will keep your patients safe and make your work sustainable. You deserve to be treated with dignity and respect commensurate with the heroic work that you do every day. Building an Oregon where everyone can thrive starts with standing with our workers and their families. And I stand with each of you and your unwavering commitment to the health and well-being of all Oregonians. Stay strong, from the governor. And now I want to introduce one of our O&A leaders. We brought her from the picket lines at Seaside all the way here to join us, Mary Rumanaji.
Hello, Prof. Portland. I apologize. I didn't prepare a speech. Be happy that I didn't. I just want to say that honestly, this is one of the proudest moments of my life to be on strike and to be standing in solidarity with all the nurses of Providence, all the nurses of with O&A in Oregon, across the nation actually. And we Little O Seaside so appreciates your love and support. You have no idea. We had nurses from St. Vincent's and Prov Portland, Columbia Memorial. We had home health and hospice nurses down walking the line with us this week. I'm sorry to say we had beautiful weather. And I just want to say, you know, power to the nurses, power to the union, power to the people. Take it away, Richard.
And next we have Richard from Home Health and Hospice.
Richard.
Hi, my name is Richard, and I have worked as a home health RN for Providence since 2011. It's a hard job, mentally and physically, but I've done my best to master it. But when COVID started to spread, many of our nurses left the field, including all of our after-hour nurses. Those that stayed were required to keep up our numbers even when going into COVID-positive homes. I was instructed that after seeing a positive COVID patient to go home, shower, change, and continue seeing the rest of my patients without downloading. The love is gone from our organization, yet they continue to have asks, requirements, and demands. When I first moved to Portland, I ended up at McDonald's for $3.35 an hour in '87. One day, the owner announced an Olympic-style contest with us competing for speed at our stations. I won the event in the 10-to-1 burger grill and quickly realized this was a trap. Now we're all expected to perform daily at our exposed competitive ability without additional compensation. Who can sprint all day? Now the same has happened to us. With the COVID staff exodus, we all picked up the slack and responsibility in the emergency, and Prov just saw dollar signs behind "There's heroes working here" signs. The hospital staff, I have learned, are still expected to carry the same load. Now, in home health, we've been asked to take up some of the work of our schedulers, and we have. They let go of most of our supply coordinators, and now we are instructed to go into Medline's page and order patient supplies ourselves. It's 20 minutes more each patient. This is the only job I've ever had that just gets harder every year. Our patients are sicker and more complex. Medicare requires more charting over the years. Our minds, backs, and spirits are drained. So, to be clear, this is not about money. The raises are to attract back staff. This is about the most insulting demand Providence has made. We need you all to see 1 or 2 more patients a day, Providence now demands. After far exceeding productivity for most of a decade, I now do not meet productivity while doing more work. What this means for our patients, that if I have a simple issue like a patient with a clogged catheter, there are no after-hour nurses to see them. Nurses are too overbooked to pick up an extra visit. The patient will now need to go to the hospital for 7 hours for a 5-minute procedure. This is MIC healthcare in action. This is why I am striking. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Now, many of you may remember the strong testimony in support of our staffing bill from our American Nurses Association president and Oregon native, Jennifer Menzik Kennedy. She is unfortunately not able to be here today, but has asked O&A President Tammy Klein to read a statement from A&A.
Okay. The Oregon Nurses Association is grateful to our colleague, the American Nurses Association, for their support in this strike action. Yesterday, the ANA released a statement in support of the Providence nurses and clinicians on strike, which reads in part, and I'm going to read it. The American Nurses Association, ANA, supports the right of nurses to advocate for themselves, their patients, and communities. Striking is the last resort when a nurse have continuously called for the changes yet see no other option or improvement. This landmark strike in Oregon is evidence of that very fact. The Nurses' Bill of Rights and the Code of Ethics for Nurses clarify that the nation's more than 4 million nurses have the right and ethical obligation to negotiate terms, wages, and work conditions. And the value that leaders demonstrate for the nurses' workforce. Immediate, transformational, and the real action is long overdue.
Thank you, Tammy. And we have seen the love and support from our community this week. With us today is Pastor Craig Brown from the St. Paul Ministry Baptist Church right here in Portland. Pastor Brown is an experienced leader, pastor, and a retired decorated U.S. infantry soldier who served this country for over 20 years. Welcome, Pastor Brown.
Good afternoon, everyone. You already heard my bio, so I won't talk on that, but I am a pastor and I can get kind of long-winded. So if you hear me say amen here and there, just say amen with me. Amen? Amen. Amen. So I'm going to try to give you a speech instead of a sermon. Amen. I stand before you today to address your unwavering dedication and the courageous decisions you have made to go on strike. I wanted to express my utmost respect for each and every one of you who tirelessly provide care and support to those in need. Your commitment to your profession is unparalleled, and it is essential that we recognize the challenges that you face. You have taken a bold step because you believe in the importance of improving the conditions under which you work, as well as the quality of care you provide. Your strike is a powerful statement, a plea for change, and assertion of your rights and professionals. Your actions resonate not only within the walls of the institution, but throughout the entire healthcare system. The issues you face are not insignificant. Long hours, exhausting shifts, inadequate staffing levels, and insufficient compensation can take a toll on your well-being and ultimately on the quality of care you're able to provide. Your voices deserve to be heard and your concerns deserve to be addressed. Amen. I want to assure you that you are not alone. You have the support of our colleagues, patients, and many others who recognize the crucial role you play in our society. We stand with you in solidarity, advocating for change alongside you. Amen. Your strike serves as a wake-up call to the policymakers, administrators, and those responsible for shaping the healthcare landscape. It is a reminder that the well-being of nurses directly impacts the well-being of our communities. By addressing the concerns raised through this strike, we can create an environment that not only supports your needs, but also foster the highest standards of care for those who depend on you. Amen. Let us use this opportunity to engage in a meaningful dialogue to bridge the gap between your concerns and the decision makers. Encourage open communication and collaboration, seeking solutions that improve work conditions, promote fair compensation, and ensure patient safety. Amen. Know that your dedication is appreciated and your strike is a catalyst for change. Together, everybody say together. Together. Let us strive for a healthcare system that values and supports nurses, recognizing the indispensable role you play in saving lives and bringing comfort to those in need. Amen. Thank you for your unwavering commitment, and may your efforts lead to a bright future for nursing and the healthcare as a whole. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Brown. And now, a man who needs no introduction, PPMC's very own Richard Botterill.
There you go. This is elder abuse, for crying out loud. Thank you, guys. You know, when our nurses came out of the hospital on Monday morning and joined the line, I thought, it can't get any better than this. And then I thought the same thing Monday afternoon when we had the rally. It can't get any better than this. And now we're in day 4 of the strike. I've been watching and listening and experiencing the energy and support, the unity, the solidarity, the chanting, the dancing in the street, the support we're getting from the community. There are no words to really fully express what just an incredible, amazing family of nurses we have here at Providence Portland. You all are truly amazing. Keep doing it. Keep the solidarity. Keep the noise, because they can hear us in there. You know, we have heard the spin from management. How nurses, literally, this is a quote, can be like terrorists. Be careful because they may assault you. All of the additional security that's been brought in here, and they've been harassing the healthcare workers that are working in there, and the visitors, and the patients. We've been hearing, thank you. We've been hearing scary stories of what's going on inside, despite the claims by management that everything is running smoothly. It isn't.
It's not.
Hey, nurses on the outside.
Problems on the inside!
Thank you. If management here at PPMC and management up in Renton are not hearing us, are not paying attention to the nurses they claim to love and care for, are not willing to come back to the table and really listen, then they are deaf and blind to our situation. I hope they're prepared to come back to the table and bargain in good faith, reasonableness, so we can provide our community with the care they deserve, because at the bottom line, that's what it's all about. So we need your continued support as we enter this next phase. And last but not least, I want to acknowledge the work that has made all of this possible and call out and thank our labor rep, Seth Moore. I can't see him, but let's hear it for Seth. And along with Seth, I want to call out our bargaining team who have put days and days and days of work on their own time into caring and supporting all of us at PPMC. So, Kim Martin right here. We have Molly Burkle over here. Christy Bernier, the one and only. Colleen Butler. I'm not seeing you around. I'm not seeing Kristen Harmon right here. Jeanette Knorr and Gabriel Whittle, I don't think can be with us. And last but not least, I think everyone knows the one and only Kyle Cook, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they'll come. Believe me, he won't get out without dancing today. So thank you all. Have a great day. Support each other. Love each other. We are the union. We're the ones that live the keep it.
Yes!
Thank you, Richard. And part of our union movement and the solidarity that we feel here is led by our Oregon AFL-CIO President, Graham Traynor. Welcome, Graham.
Thank you. Try it. You'll do it. Hey, everyone else, right? There we go.
Everyone move up. Oh, gosh.
I got you. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. How's everybody doing today? I can't hear you. How's everybody doing today? Fantastic. Good afternoon, my ONA family. There is no place that I'd rather be with than with a bunch of pissed off healthcare workers. Now I've got to tell you, your bravery, your sacrifice, and your unwavering commitment to fight for quality patient care and a fair contract, even if it means doing what you're doing this week with one hell of a strike, is about the most damn inspiring thing I've seen in a long time. And there are a few things that piss me off more than corporate greed. But blatant corporate healthcare greed takes the damn cake. Just think about this for a moment. Over the last decade, Providence has grown from a local Catholic hospital chain to a national network of 51 hospitals and over 1,000 clinics. They've increased their assets by 240% to over $26 billion, and they've increased their top executives' pay to over $10 million. I need some acid. There we go. You might wonder how they did that. By prioritizing profits and its finances over patients and caregivers. Am I right? They eliminated employees' pension plans. Am I right? They removed caregivers' extended illness breaks. Am I right? And they paid below market wages during those years of expansion. Am I right? That's how they did it. So I've got news for Providence and any employer who takes a similar approach. When they do that, we do this. When they do that, we do this. Now I've got to tell you, what you're doing is brave, it's righteous, and it's inspirational. And this strike is giving workers across the economy hope. Am I right? Yeah. Because it's tough out there. The rent is too damn high. Wages are too damn low to keep up with inflation. Healthcare is treated as a privilege and not a right for all. Corporate greed is all around us, and too often working people are seen as expendable by their bosses. Am I right? Yes. Our economy is rigged against us, and we feel it. We feel it every single day. But what you're doing this week, and what ONA and the entire AFT family is doing this entire damn summer, is giving others hope. It's giving other workers hope that they too can stand up to bully bosses and greedy CEOs and make change in their own workplace. Am I right? That they don't have to take it anymore. Am I right? And I also know this summer of action is doing so much more to show our movement what solidarity in action looks like. When ONA members on strike are excited to join Teamsters at UPS this weekend as they gear up for their possible strike, that's inspiring. When healthcare workers are standing shoulder to shoulder with their AFSCME siblings at OHSU in their fight, that's inspiring. And when the entire labor movement was ready to do whatever it took at St. Charles in that fight in Bend that led to a historic settlement, that's inspiring too. Because this is what the entire American and Oregon labor movement is all about. Your fight is my fight. Your bully boss is my enemy too. And with solidarity as the lifeblood of the working class, there's not a damn thing that can stop us if we're united. Am I right? So on behalf of the over 300,000 working people of the Oregon AFL-CIO, we will all have your back for as long as it takes. Oregon, if you didn't know, is union strong, because when you take one of us on, you take all of us on. When you take one of us on, you take all of us on. Amen. It's an honor to be here. Solidarity forever.
Thank you, Graham. And now, last but certainly not least, I have the honor to introduce our tireless and fearless National Union President, and one that we are proud to have in our corner any day or night, Randi Weingarten.
Thank you, Kyle. So I'm not taking my notes up here because I will fall, because I got to balance. Because I am not as good as all the nurses and healthcare professionals here in terms of everything you have always had to balance. So, you know, as I was listening to the speakers, I put my notes away because the Reverend is right. A strike is a catalyst to change. And ultimately, what is it that we need changed, which is America used to be the home to the middle class. Yeah. We used to believe that if you worked hard and played by the rules, and this is what Providence used to be. It was with a bunch of our amazing activists from Bend and from Seaside and Providence earlier this morning, and people who are as old as I am were talking about how, 20 years ago, Providence was a different employer. And it was, in some ways, the opposite of what that sign said. The front line was more important than the bottom line. It was a hospital that was raised by religious folks who understood that health care was a moral pact to us and to our communities, not a profit organization. And sometimes, when we get really disappointed, because think about what happened during COVID. Think about what happened. And several of you said it already. You put patients first, above your own health, above your own family's health. I saw it around the country. We're the fastest growing healthcare union now. I saw it over and over again. When there was no PPE, when there was nothing, and we didn't know what the hell this was, you were always there. And it is, excuse my language, complete bullshit when people do and say, oh, we love our heroes, except when it is time to actually love our heroes. So sometimes a girl and a guy got to do what you got to do, which is go on strike for the rights that we need to have to protect our patients and protect our families. Frankly, that's what the revolution was about in 1776. It was about protecting rights and freedom. And that is the moral, just contract that Providence should have with each and every one of you. And so we go on strike to make sure that that moral contract can happen. We take a strike action and tell the community what's going on so that we actually can lift up what we should be doing, which is helping every person have dear good health and dear good life, and making sure you have the resources and the support to actually do your jobs without getting sick. So this strike is a moral contract. It is a moral strike. It is a just strike. Yes, it's against greed. And yes, it's for the new 3 R's. Respect, retention, and recruitment. You know, I'm a school teacher. I think about the 3 R's differently. But I want you to stand up tall and understand that sometimes we have to withhold our services in order to ensure that those services really are there for our communities. So look, we are really proud of you. And I'm here not only to support you, but to tell you that the 1.7 million member AFT, the largest union in the AFL-CIO, the fastest growing healthcare union right now, we, every one of our members, is standing behind you and supporting you and having your back because you have all of our backs. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you for the inspirational words. As you know, we have your back. We're all here. I'm going to close out the rally and dare to hand the mic to Kyle to lead us off with a few chants as we wrap up the rally. But hang around for the rest of the day and night.
What's up, everybody? So a wonderful little tidbit is that Ron DeSantis of Florida called Randi the most dangerous woman in America. And I believe him. Who wants the most dangerous woman in America behind us? Yeah! I know I do. I know I do. All right. So, y'all got to be a little louder, okay? Yep. All right. Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Corporate healthcare's got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Corporate healthcare's got to go! Hey, hey!